Success is 20% skills and 80% strategy. You might know how to succeed, but more importantly, what's your plan to succeed? By Jim Rohn. In this video, you are learning about the strategic management. Strategic management is the application of the basic planning skills and processes at the top level of the organization. Strategic management refers to the careful formulation, proper implementation, and continuous evaluation of the strategic plan at the highest level. It determines the long-run direction and performance of the organization. The essence of strategic plan is developing strategic plan, keeping the plan in current, and keeping the plan updated. Let us go through step by step how you can develop strategic plan of the organization. Developing strategic plan starts with vision and mission statement of the organization. If a person is developing strategic plan, he must know what is the mission and vision of the organization. I have elaborated in detail about the difference between vision and mission in my previous video. However, I will start with mission of the organization again. If you want to develop strategic plan of a company, you need to have clear demarcation between policies, procedures, and rules of the organization. Because when developing objectives and strategic plan of the organization, you need to know what are the policies of the organization, what are the procedures and rules. Sometimes you may get a little bit confusion between policies and rules. That's why we need to have clear demarcation about these policies, procedures, and rules. I will also touch what do you mean by strategy and how the strategic management process is carried out, which include 3 steps and SWOT analysis. Then we will discuss about different levels of strategies in an organization. The video lesson will be incomplete if you don't understand different types of corporate strategies and the business strategies with sufficient examples. Let us go through vision and mission statement. Strategic leaders are the top leaders who are formulating what you call strategic plan. They need to ensure that their organizations have 3 types of aims. A vision states what the organization aspires to become in the future. And number 2, a mission. A mission reflects the organization's past and present by stating why the organization exists and what role it plays in society. Number 3, objectives. Objectives are the more specific aims that organization pursue to reach and their visions and missions. I have shown here 2 different mission statements. You can see here 2 different mission statements. One is about Harley Davidson motorcycle, you knew it. The mission statement of Harley Davidson: we fulfill dreams through the experience of motorcycling by providing to motorcyclists and the general public an expanding line of motorcycles and branded products and services in selected market segment. Another mission statement of SABIC company, that is most famous in Saudi Arabia. SABIC's mission statement, it states, our mission is to responsibly provide quality products and services through innovation, learning, and operational excellence while sustaining maximum value for our stakeholders. Whenever we are developing strategic plan of the organization, first we need to align our strategic plan to the mission and vision of the organization. Policies, procedures, and rules. Whenever we are developing strategic plan of an organization, we need to have clear understanding about the policies, procedures, and rules. What are policies? Policies are broad general guides to action that constrain or direct the attainment of objectives. Policies creates an understanding among members of a group that makes the action of each member more predictable to other members. Examples, policy examples. One of the policy could be like this: customer complaints to be resolved within 10 to 14 days. So all employees need to follow this policy when they are resolving customer complaints. Vacation policy for employees. Every organization used to have different vacation policies. In some organization, employees are getting 30 days vacation. In some organizations, employees are getting 22 days vacations. In some colleges and universities, the teachers are getting 2 months vacation. So you cannot cite the example of one company to the another company, because every company used to have different vacation policies. That is another example. Medical claim policy. Every organization used to have different policies for medical claim for self and the dependents. Procedure. Procedures are series of related steps or tasks expressed in chronological order for a specific purpose. They define in a step-by-step fashion methods through which policies are achieved. Example, procedure to get admission in the college. If you want to get admission in the college, you need to follow step-by-step procedure. Procedure to open a bank account, you need to follow certain procedure to open a bank account. Or procedure to get a personal loan, procedure to get a passport. These are the examples for procedures. Rules. Rules speak of definite action to be taken or not to be taken in a given situation. Rules permit no flexibility or deviation, unlike procedures and policies. Sometimes you will have little flexibility in policies. Sometimes we call it as a out of policy. But whereas rules are concerned, there will be no flexibility. Sometimes employees will get benefit out of policy, maybe in vacation or maybe in getting admission or driver's license in some countries. Rules are strictly punishable, such as no smoking in the premises. This is a rule. COVID-19 rules to travel from one country to another country. Every person who is traveling from one country to the another country will have to follow the same rules of that particular country. For formulating objectives, strategic plan, tactical plan, operation plan, or framing MBO, or formulating management by objectives, or drafting management by objectives, people involved in drafting needs to have clear demarcation between policies, procedures, and rules. What is policies, what is procedure, and what is rule? What is the borderline for these policies and rules? One must need to know when they are formulating strategic plan of the organization. Strategy and level of strategies. What is strategy? Strategy outlines the basic steps management plans to take to reach an objective or a set of objectives. Whenever we are drafting strategic plan, first we used to list the strategy, and each strategy used to have a set of objectives. Strategy outlines how management intend to achieve its objectives. It gives the way how the management can achieve the organizational objectives. Basically, there are three levels of strategies: corporate strategies, business strategies, and functional strategies. Strategic management. What is strategic management? Strategic management is the application of the basic planning process at the highest level of the organization. It is the job of the top level management to draft strategic plan. So some of the organization, they give responsibility to the top management. In some of the organization, they used to have a highly specialized department that is called as strategic management department. They will be involved in developing strategic plan. Strategic management is a formulation, proper implementation, and continuous evaluation of the strategic plan. So whenever we develop strategic plan, we need to implement it. So the implementation and continuous evaluation and of the plan will be done by the strategic management people. Strategic management determines the long run direction and performance of the organization. The essence is developing strategic plan and keeping them current. So always the strategic management people, they have to keep the strategic plan up to date. Strategic management is guided by top management. Successful strategic management involves many levels of the organization. When we want to make any strategy successful, sometimes all the employees are involved in implementing the strategies in an organization. Basically, there are three phases in strategic management process. First, we call it as a formulation phase. Second, we call it as an implementation phase. And third, we call it as an evaluation phase. Formulation phase of the strategy. In the formulation phase, as we discussed, there are three stages. The formulation phase is the biggest one. That is why I have to elaborate this. The rest of the two phases are smaller one. In the formulation phase, what we do, corporate and business level strategies are chosen based on organization strength and weaknesses, threats and opportunities the environment presents. There are two types of strategies, corporate strategies and business strategies, that we will discuss in the following slides. So in the formulation phase, first we will choose what type of strategies to be chosen, corporate level strategies, and what type of business strategies to be chosen. For example, if the company is growing, if the top management is deciding whether we need to have further growth, then they can choose growth strategy. Maybe they have reached at the optimum level of growth and they are losing a lot of customers, then they can choose different corporate strategies, that we call it as a stability strategy, and we can choose among the business strategy focus strategies. So that we will discuss in greater detail. In formulation phase, first we need to find out what type of strategies to be chosen at the corporate level and at the business level. The first step is obtaining a clear perspective of the current position and the status of the organization. First of all, before developing a strategic plan, we need to understand the current status of the organization, where the organization is moving, whether the organization is making good profit, whether the organization is losing customers, whether the organization is making huge profit. So first they have to study the organization. How they study the organization? While studying the organization, first of all we need to focus on the mission and vision of the organization, identifying mission of the organization, identifying past and present strategies. What were our previous strategies and what is the present strategies and what would be the future strategies. Diagnosing organization's past and present performance, checking balance sheet, profit and loss account, and checking what was the past performance, what is the present performance, and what would be the future performance. The future performance will be the new strategic plan as such. Setting objectives for the company's operation. Sometimes we follow the same objectives, sometimes we include new objectives in the strategic plan. Sometimes we delete some of the objectives that looks to be absolute or not related to the business. So here in the formulation phase, they may follow the same objectives that is drafted earlier, or maybe they may add new objectives, or they may delete some of the objectives that is not related for the present situation. So in this way they used to formulate the strategic plan. While formulating strategic plan, one of the most important technique most of the organization they follow is SWOT analysis. They need to know what are the strengths of the organization, what are the weakness of the organization, that is internal. Strength and weakness is internal, and what are the opportunities and threats, that is external. So this analysis to be done before formulating what you call the strategic plan. Here you can have a sufficient examples about how to identify SWOT analysis. Strength and weakness is internal to the organizations, and opportunities and threats are external to the organization. Some of the good examples about the strengths: core competencies in key areas. Different organizations used to have different core competencies. For example, a steel manufacturing company is having core competencies is to manufacture steel in tonnage, whereas banks and financial institutions, they have core competencies: how much loan to provide and how much deposits to mobilize. In case of educational institutions, academic area is the core competencies. In training institutions, providing training to the employees or the customers is the core competencies. Then economies of scales. Economies of scales, producing the goods and services in bulks, used to have economies of scales. Some of the organizations, they have this as one of the strength of the organization. Proprietary technology. Some organizations used to have what you call they are authorized to produce something, and they used to have intellectual properties. Those intellectual properties like softwares, etc., we can consider it as proprietary technologies. That could be the core competencies for the IT industries. Production innovation. Most of the automobile industries, they have very good innovation year after year. That could be the core competencies in the organization. Some companies, they used to have better manufacturing capacity. Full capacity is utilized in some of the petrochemical industries or maybe automobile industries. If they are utilizing full capacity, that is their core competencies. Apart from that, most of the organizations used to have some of the weaknesses. Some of the examples of weaknesses are here I have given. No clear strategic directions or plan. There are many organizations, they don't have strategic plan also. Even though if they have strategic plan, they are not implementing in a proper way. They don't have clear strategic directions or plan to the employees. That could be the one of the weakest of the weak point in the organization. Some organizations, they used to have absolute facilities. Maybe the plant is very much absolute, equipment is very much absolute, technology is absolute. That could be the weakness of the organization. Poor R&D facilities. Many companies, they don't have R&D facilities. Even though some companies, they have R&D facilities, just for the namesake they used to have R&D facilities. That could be another weakness for the organization. Inadvocacy of capitals. A large number of organizations, they used to have inadvocacy of capitals, maybe the share capitals or maybe the bond capitals. Then another weakness, example, fragmented marketing skills. Whatever the marketing skills they are using, that is not up to date. So we have to analyze the strength and weaknesses before formulating the strategic plan. Apart from that, we have to see the opportunities and threat of the organization. Some of the examples of opportunities for broad market. Most of the organizations, they used to have national, international or the regional markets that can be utilized as an opportunity. Better market demand. Some of the organizations, some of the companies, they have better demand, but due to lack of capacity utilization, or maybe they don't have sufficient plants, they cannot cater to the better market demands. Emerging new technologies, that could be the opportunity for many organizations. Most of the organizations, they are not adapting to change, and most of the organizations, they are not getting new technologies. That could be the opportunities for the growth. Ways to expand more product line. Instead of having very few product line, they can add more and more product in their area of expertise. Threats. Some of the examples of threats for the organizations, this is external to the organization. Sometimes it is controllable, sometimes it is not controllable at all. external threats. Entry of lower cost competitors. Most of the organization, they have this as the main threat because of the entry of the Chinese market, Chinese goods. They are producing the goods at the lowest possible cost. So entry of the lower cost competitors, that could be the one of the biggest threat. Availability of substitute products and services. If there is substitute is available for the product that is produced by the company, that could be another threat. Bargaining power of clients. Sometimes the clients or the customers, they used to have more bargaining power. If they have more bargaining power or negotiating power, the company has to sell the product and services at the lowest possible cost. That could be the threat. Another threat, slower market growth. A good example is that during pandemic, most of the organizations, most of the companies, they have slower market growth. So that is another threat. Adverse change in currency rate. Some of the companies which are doing business globally, they will have greater impact in the change of currencies. If the dollar is falling down, that could be a threat for most of the organizations. Sometimes dollar is appreciating, that could be threat for some other companies. So these are the examples for strength, weakness, opportunities and threat. This will help the organization to formulate strategic plan. As we discussed, formulating steps will be a longer steps. Now step 2 is implementing strategy. After formulating the strategic plan, how we implement strategic plan? It includes determining and implementing the most appropriate organizational structure, developing short-range objectives and establishing functional strategies. People who are developing what you call strategic plan, they need to know the organizational structure, how it works. Sometimes they may change organizational structure low bit also, so as to make easy implementation of strategy. Some of the organizational factors we need to focus in while implementing the strategic plan. An organization's current structure places restriction on strategic implementation. Sometimes in some of the organization, what happens, there will be no better coordination between 2 departments, 3 departments. Some of the departments are not coordinating well. When the departments are not coordinating well, or maybe they have some obstacles, they have to change the organization structure itself, so as to make ease of implementing the strategic plan. Strategy must fit with current organizational policies, or conflicting policies must be modified. So as we discussed earlier, whenever we are formulating what you call strategic plan, we need to know the ins and outs of all the policies, procedures and rules. Sometimes some of the rules and policies need to be modified so as to implement the strategic plan. Sometimes they have to modify certain policies. When there is a conflict between policies, procedures and rules, that need to be little bit modified. Organizational system currently in place can affect how the strategy might best be implemented. So the present system of the organizational system or structure need to be studied well. Sometimes the present structure will be highly flexible, sometimes it may not be flexible. Accordingly, they have to align to the strategy. Then functional strategies. Development of functional strategies generally require active participation of many levels of management. These are the 3 phases of strategic management process. First one is formulation stage, number 2 is implementation stage, and third one is evaluation and control. As we discussed, phase 1 is the longer phase. Here we need to, not only longer, this is the most important phase in developing strategic plan, because in this stage the people are the key people who are developing strategic plan. They need to know ins and out of the company. They need to make a lot of studies. So normally this first phase number 1, formulation phase, takes longer and longer time. Sometimes it takes 6 months to develop strategic plan of the organization. That is why this is more technical. That's why most of the companies, what they do, they used to give this job to the external consultants. The second phase is implementing strategy. So while implementing the strategies, as we discussed, we need to go for certain changes, maybe in the organizational structures, maybe we need to make some flexibility in policies, procedures and rules, maybe some new rules to be added, new policies to be adopted, or new process or flow charts to be created. Finally, the third phase is evaluation and control. In evaluation and control, I do not want to go for more details. In evaluation and control, what we do, just we used to check the strategic plan periodically, every 3 months, every 6 months, sometimes monthly, whether we have achieved whatever we have planned. So it is an accountability process. While evaluating, they need to control also. Evaluation and control will go together. While evaluating whether the plan is deviating too much or too less, and this deviation percentage is fixed at the evaluation stage. If there is 5% deviation or 10% deviations from the strategic plan, may be accepted. If the deviation is more than 10%, it is questionable. Then only the strategic plan will be successful. Without evaluation and control phase, the strategic plan may not be implemented properly. Now let us discuss different levels of strategies. Basically, broadly speaking, there are 3 levels of strategies: corporate strategy, business strategy, and functional strategies. Corporate strategies, it addresses which business and organization will be in and how the resources will be allocated among those businesses. This corporate strategy, we sometimes call it as a grand strategy. It will decide which type of business we should go in. Sometimes in the corporate strategies, they may add another business also. Diversification of business is also included in the corporate strategies. Or sometimes if they want to close one of the plant of the organization, that also comes under the corporate strategies. Another type of strategy, business strategy. Business strategies that focuses on how to compete in a business environment. Within the business strategies, we are going to discuss, there are 3 types: focus strategy, overall cost leadership strategy, and differentiation strategy. Then functional strategy, that is concerned with the activities of different functional areas of operations such as marketing, finance, HR strategy, etc. Corporate strategies, sometimes we call it as a grand strategies. It addresses which business and organization will be in and how resources will be allocated among these businesses. It established at the highest level of the organization's management, involving long range time horizon. Mostly the corporate strategies used to be for 5 years. Strategic plan always will be for 5 years. Strategic plan 2020-25, something like that. So it goes for long range time horizon. It concerned with the overall directions of the company and tied to the mission statement. It should be aligned to the mission statement. That is why we need to know the difference between vision statement and mission statement. Knowing the mission statement will make the preparing of strategic plan will be more and more easy. So among the corporate strategies, basically there are 4 types of corporate strategies. There are 4 types of grand strategies. Most of the company they used to follow. Let us see what are these 4 different types of strategies. Growth strategy. Growth strategies are used when the organizations tries to expand through concentration, vertical integration, or diversification. Some of the example of growth strategies: Google acquired YouTube. This is a growth strategy. In Saudi Arabia, Aramco acquired 70% stake in SABIC. This is also a growth strategy in Aramco. Stability strategy, number two, another type of corporate strategy is stability strategy. That is, when these strategies are used when the organization is satisfied with its present course of action. Companies will eliminate minor weaknesses and remain status quo. Most of the telecom companies want to protect their core revenue and take care of customer retentions. So most of the companies, for example, in the kingdom, Saudi Arabia, STC, Mobile, they used to have what you call stability strategy. They want to retain their customers. Retention of customer is more and more challenging for them because of huge competition in the telecom companies. So most of the companies, not only in the kingdom, around the globe, telecom companies, they want to stabilize their business. Acquiring more, instead of acquiring more businesses, they are focusing on retaining their customers and retaining their core revenue. That is why most of the companies, they are focusing on what you call broadband and internet revenue. Before, they were happy with the telephone revenues or call revenues. Then another type of strategy, grand strategy, is defensive or retrenchment strategy. Sometimes we call it as a defensive or retrenchment strategy. Here what they are doing, they are used when a company wants to reduce its operation. If the company want to decrease its operation, sometimes some companies, they want to close their plants. That is a defensive strategy. In winter, most of the power companies in Middle East used to cut power production and closes some of the power plants for few months. This is a defensive strategy, so as to reduce the operation cost. Then combination strategies, three grand strategies: growth strategy, stability strategy, defensive strategy. Combination strategy is very easy to understand. It is the combination of three strategies. Some companies, what they are doing, they are using when the organization simultaneously employs different strategies for different parts of the company. One of the best example of combination strategy, General Motor may have growth strategy in India and China because they have huge customers, new customers. They can have stability strategy in the Middle East because they have average customers in the Middle East, and defensive strategy in North America because in North America they may not have more demand. Depending on the fluctuations in the demand and supply, General Motor can have different strategies in different countries. So this is about 4 type of corporate strategies. And the last but one that we are discussing about different types of business strategies. Business strategies, there are basically 3 types of business strategies. One is overall cost leadership strategies. Most of the company, they follow this. In the overall cost leadership, the company produce and deliver products and services at the lower cost than the competitor. Good example is Walmart in USA and Reliance Jio Telecom in India. They were highly successful in this strategy. They have followed overall cost leadership. They focus on high market share and makes more profit with bigger turnover. So these 2 companies, Walmart and Jio Telecom, they are following overall cost leadership strategy. This is a good example, Jio Telecom company in India and Walmart. Differentiation strategy, the word itself speaks. What do you mean by differentiation? In this strategy, the company tries to make the product and service unique in its category, thus permitting the company to charge premium price. Some unique products by Mercedes-Benz, Polo Sportswear, made for order clothes by Adidas and Nike. That is differentiation strategy. So when they make some unique product, they can charge premium prices. Most of the company, they follow differentiation strategy. This is another type of business strategy. Then the last business strategy, most of the company, they follow, we call it as a focus strategy. In this focus strategy, the company direct attention to a narrow market segment. A good example is a tall men's clothing store is an example of companies following focus strategies. Finally, let us discuss about functional strategies. It is easy to understand. Every company used to have different functional departments. Then these different companies, they used to have functional strategies. HR department used to have HR strategies, marketing department used to have marketing strategies, finance department used to have finance strategies, operation department used to have operation strategies, and social responsibility department can have social responsibility strategies. Research and development department can have research and development strategies. This we call it as a functional strategies. That is the end of this lesson. If you have any comment, any suggestion, and any enquiry, please you can comment in the comment box of the video. Good luck.